Who made the console orange?
Do I look orange?
I didn't touch it.
Orange is not my color.
Not me.
Hello?
Prepare to jump into the colorful chaos inside Riley's mind because the Inside Out 2 trailer is finally here, bringing a whirlwind of emotions with it. Let's dissect the trailer for those tiny details that escaped even the keenest eye. It's time to dive in to the emotional roller coaster. I mean, it's time to officially meet anxiety.
Okay, let's clear it all out. It's demo day!
I've known her since day one, but let's leave that topic for another video. The well-known awkward new emotion has officially arrived in the new teaser trailer for Pixar's Inside Out 2, and fans all over the world praise the creators for choosing to include this emotion in the much-needed sequel. Let me ask you something. Do you think anxiety is an emotion or an emotional disorder? This is an ongoing debate online following the release of the trailer. Nevertheless, we also have the official plot synopsis for Inside Out 2. Let's check that out before we dive into the many details you missed in the trailer, shall we? Based on the official logline, Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2 will again focus on Riley, just as headquarters is undergoing a sudden demolition to make room for something entirely unexpected: new emotions. Apparently joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust, who we already know from the previous films, aren't sure how to feel when anxiety comes into Riley's life. Inside Out 2 has some big shoes to fill, considering its predecessor was one of Pixar and Disney's biggest hits in 2015. The first film followed a simple yet complicated story. It focused on Riley being forced to move to San Francisco, leaving her familiar life behind. And then we followed the emotions of Riley's emotions as Joy went through multiple challenges trying to keep our beloved protagonist happy. Inside Out was well received by audiences and critics alike. The movie even won the 2016 Academy Award for the Best Animated Feature. Now, let's go back to the trailer and see what all the fuss is about. The recently posted clip starts off with Riley, the already familiar protagonist of the 2015 film, celebrating her 13th birthday. This is a big change for her and her emotions, and as soon as she turns 13, chaos occurs at the headquarters. We then see joy, fear, disgust, anger, and sadness wake up in the middle of the night only to see a demolition crew installing a new console. The console appears to be orange. Orange? Joy asks. Who made the console orange? Moments later, the new emotion introduces herself. Hello, the new character replies. Oh my gosh, I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff? As a person who struggled with anxiety for their entire life, I think this is the most suitable introduction line for an emotion such as anxiety the creators could have come up with. But anxiety is not the only difficult emotion Riley will have to deal with this time. There are actually a bunch of new emotions joining her mind. I'm sorry, we wanted to make a good first impression, anxiety says, which leads to disgust replying, what do you mean, we? The director, Kelsey Mann, shared some plot details in a press release for the film, confirming that anxiety might be new to the crew, but she's not really the type to take a back seat. That makes a lot of sense if you think about it in terms of what goes on inside all of our minds. Although a lot of fans love the trailer, others aren't satisfied because the footage confirms some big changes in the cast. We'll get to that a bit later on in the video. Did you notice that at the end of the trailer, anxiety comes with a lot of baggage? I mean, that's perfect. I also have a feeling that fear and anxiety will become BFFs. They do share a lot of resemblance. Also, a lot of fans were quick to watch the trailer that they didn't even realize new feelings were flashing at the end of it when it says feel XX, anxious, envious, ennui, and embarrassed. Those are the new emotions joining the Inside Out franchise. Some eagle-eyed fans notice it's a bit weird that Riley gets all these emotions, but her parents have only the main ones. They are adults. It would make sense that their minds are filled with more emotions, right? Maybe the film will clear this up. Before we continue with this journey, make sure you're part of our team by subscribing and tapping that notification bell. Why? Because you wouldn't want to miss an Inside Out update. Keep the combo going by sharing your thoughts on the new trailer and the new actors. viewers. As mentioned before, anxiety is not the only new emotion joining the favorite Pixar franchise. When anxiety says, "We wanted to make a good first impression," disgust says its first line, and we realize the voice of disgust sounds a bit different. This is because Liza LaPera is taking over the role from Mindy Kaling. Mindy isn't the only person not reprising her role from the first film. She and Bill Hader left the franchise due to money issues. Per a report by Puck News, Amy Poehler, the voice of Joy, was offered $5 million while the rest of the main emotions were offered $100,000. Well, that doesn't really sound fair. This led to Tony Hale and Liza LaPera taking over as Fear and Disgust, respectively. Diane Lane is back as Riley's mom, and Maya Hawke, the amazingly talented daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, has joined as Anxiety. The trailer for the second installment prompted a lot of questions, that's for sure. The new poster for the sequel also looks quite promising since it basically confirms that a beloved character might be returning for the sequel. If you take a closer look, you'll see that Bing Bong is also going to be part of Riley's life, despite his unfortunate storyline in the first film. How amazing is that? Nevertheless, there will be a lot of changes in Inside Out 2.
Motion! Wow!
Oh, I'm sorry. We wanted to make such a good first impression.
What do you mean, we?
In the first installment, viewers followed Riley as she was coping with a big change in her life. She had to leave her friends behind and move to a new place. As mentioned before, the emotions that prevailed in the first film were sadness and joy. This time, however, Riley is getting into puberty. This is without a doubt the time of their lives when everything changes. This means that joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust will have to adjust to the changes and work with the new emotions. They will have a difficult time trying to deal with anxiety. In addition to anxiety, Riley will have to also deal with envy, ennui, and embarrassment. It remains to be seen whether the sequel will manage to become as successful and popular as its predecessor. So, do we have a release date? Yeah, we do.
This is madness! He shouldn't run away!
Let's get this idea out of her head.
The much-anticipated sequel is expected to be released in theaters in the US on June 14th, 2024. Make sure you mark your calendars. Now, let's talk about the trailer and fans' responses to it. For some fans, it doesn't make sense that Pixar decided to include so many emotions in the sequel. This is because Riley is a 13-year-old girl. According to these fans, going through that roller coaster of emotions is a bit too much. There is anxiety, ennui, envy, and even embarrassment. Is this too much for someone that age? What do you guys think? As for the things I loved seeing in the trailer, well, I would have to start with the scene where Joy is quickly trying to protect the other emotions from anything new or risky. She's been guiding them behind her when anxiety arrives. She's such a good leader. There's so many great lines in the trailer, and I seriously think this film is gonna rock. The sequel was first announced in 2022 at Disney's D23 Expo. Kelsey Mann is the director, while Meg, who co-wrote the first film, serves as a writer for the second film. There you have it, a closer look at the tiny details you may have missed in the Inside Out 2 trailer. A journey that promises to be as colorful as a dream and as complex as a human mind. If you are as excited as we are, give us a like and share your predictions in the comments below. See ya!
Hey, what are you doing? All right, she's all set. Set with what?